Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the NXT Takeover London review. And ladies and gentlemen, I've come on this show and I have my friend Matt, who I do the random wrestling talk. We have finally worked out the kinks where we can actually do it straight off of this channel directly instead of doing it off of the other channel I have that I upload directly off of here. I'm trying to upload Random Wrestling Talk episode number 5 of us, but I'm still having...
Oh, it's already here.
Eh?
I just got a note on my YouTube saying that World of Wrestling is up doing a live chat of NXT Takeover.
A live chat?
Yeah, we're live on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
I just got the notice right now.
Sweet. I can't pull up the chats. I don't know how to do that.
Oh,
You go on YouTube?
I get notice on my YouTube app whenever stuff happens, and that just popped up. But we'll leave it at that, and we'll continue on with the whole video.
Okay, yeah, because this is about NXT Takeover London. And, folks, I have to say, I sat through 2 hours of this show last night before I had to go to work today, and it was pretty good. Definitely way outschooled fucking TLC, without a shadow of a doubt.
The main roster should be ashamed for themselves, as always. Granted, Raw was good, I'll give them that, but honestly, NXT just owns the main roster's ass.
Well, considering this, we'll go into the matches step by step, but I want to throw out a storyline that they were doing for the world title. That was a very simplistic, straightforward type of storyline. Nothing, fancy about it. It was straightforward. Samoa Joe wanted a title shot. He felt that he didn't want to wait his time to get the shot against Finn Balor. Finn Balor was like, I would have given you a title shot anytime you wanted, as long as you asked. And Samoa Joe felt different about it.
Well, he did offer him, but then, Rigo had to go and say, no, we're going to have a over-the-top battle royal to determine number one contendership, and Joe took offense to that.
Well, I mean, me personally, I think that the storyline-wise was good. There was nothing hard that they put into it. They made it very simplistic. And it was a good storyline. It flowed well. Huh?
And Joe wasn't much of a heel. He was just pissed off because he felt he deserved a title shot. I mean, he was just being Joe, being sadistic, submission specialist, and pretty much being a kick-ass.
Well, that's another thing. Samoa Joe came out in the promo that they showed before they showed the match, and he came out and specifically said, I know what I did was wrong, but I did what I had to do to get Finn Balor's attention to give me a title shot, and that's what I did, and I took it. And you know what? That's something Kevin Owens would have done too. I mean, Kevin Owens' first time he was on the show, he had his first match, and at the end of the show, he fucking literally tried to cripple Sami Zayn when he was the NXT champion too. So, I mean, it's all the same thing, but it works. It's a proper build. It's a proper way of doing things. It makes sense. There's a rhyme and a reason. WWE's rhyme and reason is just idiotic. And Triple H keeps it the way it is. A simplistic show. Nothing difficult about it.
Triple H knows how to run NXT to the point that it's entertainment and good. It actually can be considered sports. Vince, on the other hand, is a senile bastard. He doesn't know left from his right.
Well, here's the problem with Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon seems like he's ashamed of being called a wrestling organization or a wrestling promotion. Triple H is an old school mentality. if you guys have not seen the Stone Cold podcast with Triple H as a special guest yet, I recommend watching that. You will definitely get an insight on what Triple H's idea of how WWE should be run, and it's a lot of Vince McMahon's old ways of doing things back in the '90s and the early 2000s.
Yeah,
Triple H is a very
getting rid of that third hour.
Yeah, he's also mentioned several times, besides the Stone Cold podcast, a lot of times on the NoDQ.com, that, Raw needs to be back to 2 hours. It's simple as that. But regardless of all that, that has nothing to do with NXT TakeOver London. Let's get things started. Starting up with the opening match. The lady Emma and Asuka.
Asuka.
Asuka, I mispronounced the name. Sorry, guys. Asuka and Emma. My personal opinion starting off. Actually, you know what? I'll be polite. My guest, my co-host, actually, Matthew. What did you think of the opener?
Great opener. It had a lot of good build-up for people who watch NXT on weekly basis. I gotta say, I was slightly worried with the outside interference might result in a screw job, but the end result, dead on. I'd probably would give the It's been a week since I've actually watched. I should have watched it, to get a better opinion of it, but I'd give that a solid 3.5, maybe close to a 4 if I was to watch it again.
I would have to agree with you. Definitely a 3.5 easily. This match was a very good, well-flowed match. Emma, definitely a complete character change here. I mean,
Oh
back in
yes, when she
I
was
mean,
from
she used to do this crap with her fucking hands, doing that creepy dance with Santino
oh
Marella.
yes, better attitude, when she was with Santino. I mean, she just excludes attitude, like back from the Attitude Era. And that's what the people need now.
She has emotion. She seems more genuine. It doesn't seem so fake and forced.
Yeah,
She
she's not
seems
all
like
bubbly.
Yeah, she seems like a badass. That's what makes her character really fucking cool with this Emma character that she's got. She's a fucking badass with this character. And it's totally different. And it really could work on WWE's main roster programming too.
It
I
works
mean,
because of her attitude of being like one of the longest running divas on NXT, and she feels like her spot's being taken by these newcomers. So it's a great storyline that they're building.
well, that makes a lot of sense too. I didn't know what the storyline buildup was because I don't watch the NXT show on a weekly basis. But I love watching the Takeover episodes because they're really, they're 2 hours long and they're very fun to watch. And and I get to see some of the action that happens every couple of months. Yeah, Asuka defeated Emma in this match. Very good match. Very entertaining. As I said, 3.5, and Matthew said 3.5 or a 4. Which one are you sticking with, 3.5 or 4?
I'm gonna go with 3.5 because I actually saw it only once. So I'll give it a solid 3.5.
All right. Next match we had on the card, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson defeating Enzo Amore and
Amare.
what?
Enzo Amare.
Enzo Amare and Colin Cassidy. They were defeated by the tag team champions, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson. I have to admit, I never knew what these guys were. I'm glad they took the belts off of those 1940s looking type wrestlers. I don't like them at all.
Vaudevillains?
Yeah, I don't like them. They don't impress me all that much. It just seemed like something they could fit right on WWE's main roster programming. It seems retarded.
No, their gimmick is good. I'll give them that, but I guess it depends what kind of wrestling style you like. So to each his own, right?
Pretty much, I guess you could say on that subject. Me personally, I thought this match was okay. It didn't attract my attention too much, so much because it was kind of dry. I guess I didn't get a lot of intrigue from watching this match.
Now, before the show started, I mentioned to you about the new tag team champions. I told you they have like a bar brawler style. Now, how do you feel about the champs after seeing them in action?
The champs are pretty good. I got to give them that much credit. Their gimmick is they remind me of a Triple H type attitude with a tag team, basically. They attack their tag team opponents, beat the shit out of them, and leave them there busted and battered and bruised. So I think that's really a cool thing to
That's
do.
actually how it all started. It was, yeah, that's actually exactly how it all started.
Yeah, I know.
A
They show
couple,
that in the promo.
yeah, attacked,
So
yes,
yeah,
we
so
saw
in
the
the video,
promo.
the video package, I know it showed us how the whole thing got started, what they've been doing over the last few months, leading into the pay-per-view and everything else. So I mean, yeah, I understand that, and I like their attitude, their whole thing. It's just their match with the those two guys. I just didn't get intrigued by it. I was paying too much attention to the shit on my cell phone about UFC and stuff like that. And when I start doing that, I know for a fact I'm not interested in the match so much.
Was there at least any spot that caught your attention?
A few things. The ending was a little bit impressive.
Hello?
By this, you there?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. Uh, was there just something wrong with the camera? But
It
you could
kind
hear
of
me.
froze up and you kind of lost. Well, I didn't hear it getting sound from you for a sec.
Where did I leave off?
You were just talking about the spot, but at the
Yeah.
ending.
What?
You're talking about the spot involving the ending, what you thought about it.
Oh, okay. Because when you started talking, you know what it said? It went "ee." It was funny as shit. Anyway,
Like
yes,
how did I sound? How did I
you
sound?
sound fine now, but there was some sort of signal issue. I don't know what the fuck that was, but it was funny as shit. But anyway,
Antonio, I need to give you my bundle.
no, it was like "ee." I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, we're just fucking around. So let's just get back to
It just
the
did it
show.
again. It
Well,
just did it again while you were
excuse
talking.
me.
All right, okay, let's get back on track here. Yes,
Fucking track.
the ending was good. I enjoyed the ending because it was the ending. Thank God. Uh, this match wasn't impressing me. I give it a 2.5 out of 5. I was
I give
not
it a
really.
3 because I actually was following the match.
Yeah, I couldn't. I wasn't intrigued by this match. So I wasn't following it too much. Then we had Apollo Crews losing to Baron Corbin. I wasn't
Did we
impressed by this
skip this
match either.
match? Because this is the one I actually was not paying attention to. I'd give it at least a 2 or 2.5.
I give it a 2. That's it. I did
I
not
mean,
like this match. This match was worse than the tag team title match. At least the tag team
it was
title
not.
match kept some of my interest.
I mean, for a grudge match, for the only grudge match, it just felt like it was too main rostery. It just didn't click for with me.
No, I don't. I just think that Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews don't work well together.
No,
Um, Baron Corbin. You want to know the truth? I'm not impressed by Baron Corbin. I don't think his in-ring action is that good. He's kind of dull and stale. There's
it
nothing about him that really intrigues me.
here's the problem. When he first debuted in all his beginning matches, he would end it in like less than a minute. I mean, you had fans actually counting down until the end of the match. I think they were like longest may have been in the 30s. Nothing went over a minute, so
Wow.
we got to see how well he wrestled until got better competition. I think his best matches, I think, was with Rhino, but it's been a couple of months till since then.
Yeah, me personally, I've not been impressed by Baron Corbin ever. I've watched a few of the matches. He's like basically a skinny version of Goldberg. You put Goldberg in a long match, you're gonna be able to see the flaws in his wrestling capabilities. And I think that's pretty much just based on the few times I've seen Baron Corbin. It's the same situation. So
Yeah.
yeah, Paula Cruz and Baron Corbin. That match was not that great either.
I
The
mean, Cruz
audience,
has got. I'm sorry, but Cruz has got all the talent for a future NXT champion, but
yes, he does. He's a really good, talented wrestler. One spot in that match I did like was seeing that lion salt off the middle rope to the outside. I thought that was freaking awesome. I've never seen a big guy like that do something that well. So
I
I
never,
was really impressed by that.
I never expect like Kevin Owens to pull off a moonsault the way he's built, though. So anyone's possible pulling off sick
Yeah,
moves.
Paulo Cruz is a good wrestler. I see this guy going somewhere in his career. He definitely matches what Vince McMahon's looking for in a guy. He's got muscles of fucking size of bigger than people's heads, most people. And he's a very athletic and moves around very good in the ring too. And he can do power moves too. So I mean, he's got the full package of everything that everybody would like. I think Vince McMahon would be happy to have him as his main guy or close to that or champion or something like that. And the audience would like him too. I think that he's an all-around winner. I think he's a guy that maybe Vince should look at as possibly the future of the company instead of fucking Roman Reigns, for all I know.
Oh,
But
maybe in a year or so, when Cruz gets promoted to shift to the main roster, they'll make sure to keep his character the way it is without fucking it over, and maybe he'll eventually become the guy, the man.
yeah, we can only hope.
Because right
Anyway,
now they need to find someone better than Reigns
yeah, we'll get into that in a
at a
little.
later at a
Well,
later
no, we
time.
could talk about we could talk.
Briefly about it. Hello, yo, yo.
This match was fucking awesome.
What match are you talking about? Because now you kind of froze up and I couldn't get anything from you.
Okay, I'll repeat it again. Bailey's Women's Championship defeating Nia Jax was a fucking awesome match.
Okay, I can sum that match in 2 words: show stealer.
Agreed. Very much so. As shocking as it sounds, Bailey and this Nia Jax character, who I haven't, this is the first time I saw a wrestle. Excuse
Okay,
me.
now here's the build up for Nia Jax. For one thing, she's been getting a lot of hype because she's related to The Rock. Rock even tweeted that we should keep an eye on Nia Jax because she's the next big diva coming into WWE. And she's
Mm.
extremely powerful. I mean, she's like China-like. She's like a Samoan China.
You want to know who she reminds me of? This might make you laugh. She reminds me of Awesome Kong.
Uh, in a way, I'd probably agree with you on that. I mean, I
Look at
would.
her attire, dude. She looks like
Yes,
fucking Awesome Kong.
yes, I'll agree with you on that.
I mean, where's the fucking originality by Triple H there? He ripped that off from fucking Awesome Kong and TNA. That's where they ripped
Well,
that off from. Come on.
well, either agree with that or not. For what, it could be anything from it. It could be traditional, maybe Samoan tire, who knows.
Yeah, okay.
But the match wise, you had basically Bailey fighting for her life.
Yes. She really fought hard. She earned every bit of it. I don't care if the show is fake or not. She wasn't acting, folks. She was in pain. She was sore. She was hurt. That
Yes,
broad really can put a beating down on somebody. But, you're taking a look at Bailey and comparing her to Nia Jax. I mean, it's a big difference.
it was a realistic fight. I mean, yes, wrestling is fixed. We all know that, but the point was, it was believable that Bailey was basically backed into a corner from start to finish.
You want
There
to
was
know what?
no way in there was no way in hell she was gonna pull off a Bailey to belly, basically a belly to belly suplex, unless it was from the top turnbuckle. The point was, she was not gonna win by a simple 1, 2, 3 pinfall.
Here's the thing that made that match completely believable. It wasn't the whole entire match. It was that ending. That rear naked choke, or not the guillotine choke that she had her in. So MMA, very believable, and realistic. That was number one. Number two, I mean, you had fucking Bailey not just once do this, she had to do it 3 or 4 different times in just one
It,
spot.
there is no submission win was the only way Bailey was gonna win. She tried every submission move she had in her arsenal.
That's
So
true.
basically, it was a war of basically no stamina. She kept putting on so many submission moves, trying to wear Nia Jax down, and it finally paid off.
Yeah, that's true. But there is one thing. She put her in that hold several times. She was choking her out. She was losing, probably, based off of realistic thinking here, logical thinking. She was probably losing consciousness of going in and out of that hold. And eventually, once she held it long enough, she just couldn't do it anymore and she tapped out. Now, here's the thing where there was one small little mistake, but doesn't ruin the whole thing. Making Nia Jax tap out was not a smart move. Here's why. You look at UFC or any other kind of sporting event where you put a person in a submission hold, put them in a rear naked choker or a guillotine. Have the lady, it's a fixed show, right? Have the lady show that she's a fucking tough ass bitch by going ahead and not even tapping out, by passing out and losing the match. That is what they should have done, just like they did with Stone Cold Steve Austin against Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. The situation was the same thing. Does it ruin anything? Absolutely not. But it would have helped her a little bit more than what they had. But personally, it doesn't ruin anything. I'm just saying that they could have added a little bit extra to make it even more realistic.
I have to agree, but it was a excellent fight, and I'd
Yes.
give that a 5.
I give it a 4.5, a 4, somewhere around there. But it was very good, no doubt about it. 100% agreement with you, Matt. But um, they could have just had maybe just tweaked the ending just a little bit, but overall nothing got ruined there. It was an awesome match, show stealer of the night. Totally agree with you on that. Then main event, my boy Samoa Joe goes up against
Lost!
Finn Balor. Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. And I was pissed off. Finn Balor won the fucking match. I like Finn Balor. I think he's a great wrestler. But I wanted Samoa Joe win that fucking match so bad. He's only had one world title match, or one world title reign. And that was in TNA. And it was a fucking joke.
Yes, I'd have to agree. I was kind of rooting for Joe, and I kind of felt like if it wasn't rig wise, Baylor kind of pulled that win out of his ass.
Well, I think
If
that,
if Joe had hit the muscle buster in the right spot, it would have been over. Especially if he went right into the Coquilla clutch afterwards.
yes, I agree. I think that was fucking dumb on Triple H's part not to have Samoa Joe the winner. But I think he was just using Samoa Joe veteran experience to help boost Finn Balor since he's a younger dude in the company. He's not as well known as Samoa Joe unless you're a very heavy hardcore wrestling fan that follows all different sorts of independent wrestling circuits. But New Japan, they're very hard
But
to
there's
find their
also
content and shit. So I mean, whatever.
There's also, talk about Baylor staying with NXT and not jumping to the main roster.
Oh
They
yeah,
probably want him to have a long run title reign.
I've already heard. He was asked that question. Would he like to go to the main roster? He said absolutely not. I like where I am. I want to stay there for a while, and that was pretty much it. Finn Balor knows. You go up to the main roster, you're fucked. No doubt about it.
Exactly, because they have nothing to do in there. I mean, they have no heel competitor for Reigns. I mean, God knows we don't want to see Reigns versus Triple H at WrestleMania.
No, I don't want to see Triple H win that damn and the Royal Rumble match. I want to see Brock versus Roman Reigns again. I think that's what we deserve to see. That match was fucking awesome at WrestleMania 31, and I think we should get another
But
one
then,
and a better build up too, not to mention.
if Reigns didn't want to join the Authority, what he should have done was, gone heel and maybe for a swift change turn the Authority into faces. Because
They can still do that, Matt. They could still make Roman Reigns heel. They just can't make him heel with the Authority. They could make him heel by him taking his attitude towards the fans with them booing him all the time and treating him like garbage and mostly everyone not liking him, that would work. He could go ahead and come on the air and say, fuck you guys. But why are we
well,
talking about Roman
as
Reigns?
long as it's anyone, as long as any other fans other than Philly.
Dude, why are we talking about Roman Reigns? This is about NXT. Fuck Roman Reigns and WWE's main roster. What the
I'm
fuck, man?
sorry, I'm stuck in random wrestling talk mode where we just talk about shit. Talk about how Roman Reigns shits on wrestling.
Oh God, this is not about them. Fuck them for right now. We can trash
Fine,
talk them
fine,
later at another
fine.
episode. But anyway, yeah, this match I have to say was pretty decent. 3.5 out of 5 stars. Second best match on the show. Finn Balor walks away victorious, as I already mentioned, and the
If
spots were pretty
Joe
good.
would have won, I would have given the match a 4 because there were a lot of good spots. I mean, did you see any
Yeah,
botches or anything?
I'm not quite sure. I was passing in and out of sleep. I was kind of falling
Depending
asleep,
on how.
trying to stay awake and watch the whole thing so we could do this review. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch, like, not the whole thing, but like just basically the main event match more, because I was really kind of tired, so I was kind of going in and out. But I caught most of the match, so I
I
think
mean,
the
it
match
took
was pretty good.
everything that Baylor had just to put Joe down.
Yeah,
I mean, and eventually, I think he was trying to go for a muscle buster or a superplex, and eventually, he managed to knock Joe down and hit him with the diving foot
yeah,
stomp, coup de grace.
yeah. I remember that. Yeah, it was a good show. I mean, 2 bad matches out of 5. That was really the bad side about it. But I mean,
Depending on what you saw, I mean, I say one match was bad, one match was average, and everything else was, straight up in your face.
yeah. I mean, the tag team title match, again, I wasn't impressed by it. It didn't keep my interest. I really thought I was going to like the match. I liked the gimmick that Scott Dawson and, what's his name? Deshaun Wilder?
Dash
Yeah, Ash
Wilder.
Wilder. I can't fucking remember these
Hey,
names.
hey, I can hardly remember their names in myself anyway, and I watch it on a weekly basis, so don't feel bad.
All right. But yeah, I mean, show itself was pretty decent. I definitely overall give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I've seen better NXT shows than this for pay-per-view quality, but just based on
What you think of the London crowd?
the London crowd, they were like fucking weird somewhat. Not like they were creeping me out or anything, but they were like some of the Raw episodes back in like 2000, last year's episodes where people were just making random chants like JBL or some shit like that, doing that kind of shit. randomly just chanting random shit.
They were just
I liked.
into it, I guess. They were having
I
so
did.
much fun, they just wanted to chant whatever the hell they wanted.
I like that one segment, one chant they were chanting. Fuck 'em up, Asuka. Fuck 'em up.
I remember that.
That was pretty fucking cool. I didn't think Triple H would allow the NXT audience to be able to say whatever the hell they want. I thought they kind of watched that kind of stuff. I wonder if what
Well,
people.
sometimes when they have an extreme moment, fans would start chanting "Holy shit," and I guess that's okay. But I guess in a way, saying "fuck" whatever could probably be viewed as they're kind of pushing it a little.
Well, let's be honest here. I wonder what would happen to a fan, a group of fans in the audience if they were saying "fuck them up." I mean, really,
Well,
I'd
it's not
like to
like
see that
not like
on
they're trying to
WWE
jump the
show.
barricade or anything.
Huh?
It's not like they were trying to jump the barricade or anything. I mean,
No, but I'm
it's
dead serious. That I really WWE has now monitored people's signs on what they bring into the shows now. That's why you don't see as
well,
many people with signs anymore.
well, yes, but you also got to consider the fact that one thing being on USA Network and then being on the WWE Network, they could be some sort of leeway.
Yeah, but the pay-per-views they still do the same thing on the pay-per-views, and it's on the WWE Network. So I mean, still there's no.
Well, you can't censor everything. I mean, that's just censorship issues. I mean, they could possibly put their finger on the button, but that wouldn't really do anything when the fans are chanting.
I don't know. I really don't. But anyway, my opinion overall 3.5. What's yours, Matt?
Like I said, I'd give the whole thing a solid 4, maybe a 4.2 here and there, but it was a definitely worthwhile watch. And just
Oh yeah.
once again, NXT proves that they are superior to WWE in all matter.
And one last thing before we go off the air. Vincent, man, get
Fuck
fucking
you!
Triple H to go ahead and run your damn business, you fucking old bastard. Anyway, that's our
Quit
show. Thank you
ruining
very
our
much for
show!
watching. And catch you guys on the flip side. Goodbye.